I'm Kate, and I'm a social worker here at Renewal House. I understand that you want to be involved with the residential treatment program here.
I do.
Okay, do you mind if I tell you a little bit about the program?
I would love
I'm
that.
sure you know a little bit since you've admitted yourself here, but the program here, we have individual therapy for you, and then we also have group therapy, both with your child and with the other women here in the program. We have 17 women, and you'll live in an apartment here on campus with your daughter. I guess you know that she'll be able to come. Also, we have drug rehabilitation classes, so we have 12-step programs that you can go to off campus. And then we also have parenting classes, just to learn a little bit more about that. We also have other services that I can refer you to as needed, you know, if you have any concerns that you want to, special things that you want to get help with. So do you want to tell me a little bit about why you're here and what
yes.
you're working?
I have an 8-year-old daughter, and
What's her name?
Legally.
Oh, Lily.
And I've really been wanting to change my life. I've been addicted to substances for a while now, and I would like for her to have a better life.
Okay. So is this a recent decision that you want her to have a better life, or?
I mean, ever since she's been born, I've wanted more for her than I had, but I haven't done a good job of doing that for her. I started using when I was 10, drinking when I was 10, and that led to drugs, but she's nearing that age, and I really just want her to have a different life than I had, so
So with her getting close to the age that you started using, that made you think, oh, I got to do something now. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, and we look forward to getting to know your daughter too. So I just wanted to let you know before we really get started is that everything you say here is confidential, and I'm not going to tell anybody else. The only things I will have to report is that if you are going to harm yourself or harm anyone else, or if anyone is in imminent danger. So just wanted to let you know, but before I tell anybody else, I'll let you know and make sure it's okay with you. Let's talk a little bit about your goals for coming. You mentioned you want your daughter to have a better life and that you want to stop using. What are some of the goals that you want for your daughter? Like, you don't want her to be in a home with you using, or do you want to talk a little bit more?
Well, sure. I don't want her to see me being addicted to drugs anymore. I haven't always provided the most stable of homes for her, and I would really like to have her live in a more stable home. I never finished high school, and she's approaching the age where she's going to start pretty soon in the next few years, and I would like her to start and complete high school. I would also like to get my GED.
So
stability for both of us.
Okay. So one thing that we do offer here is a program where we can help you get your GED, and we also have job training and can get you connected with a place to work. So we will be able to help you with that. Also, you mentioned instability. Do you want to talk a little bit more about like what that looks like? What was unstable? People in and out, or are you moving a lot, or?
Mostly that. I mean, yeah, I've been using for a while, and there are people that are in and out of my life, men, and they haven't always treated me and her the best of ways, and I'm kind of ready to move on for myself and for her.
Yeah. So here at Renewal House, it will be a stable environment. We can assess you as we go on, but you can stay up to 12 months or longer if needed. So while you're here, we'll have a set routine for the both of you, and it's a safe environment. And then once we finish the program here, then we will make sure that you're back in we can talk more about that later too, but make sure you're in a stable environment, because that really is important for both you and her. We don't want y'all being that environment, and especially your daughter Lily. The instability, I'm sure, has affected her. And have you seen any behavioral problems with her due to that, or you just know that you don't want her to?
I mean, she does tend to get angry a lot at me and at others, and she will act out. And I don't know if you guys offer help for her. I mean, I think you said that you did, but I don't know.
Yeah, so we will, and I think it'll help her to be in that stable environment. And once you start being more able to be there for her, now that you're going to be off of substances, where you can be attentive to her needs, and we'll teach you about appropriate ways to parent her. And I think that'll help some with her anger, and we'll also have therapy for the both of you together, where we can help that relationship. So we'll definitely work through that. So you've talked about some of your concerns so far and some goals that you have. What would you say is the most pressing thing that you want to work on? Is it with your daughter or you, or do you have one thing that really stands out that you want to work on?
I mean, I want to give my daughter a better life, and I think that I can do that if I can stop using drugs. And so I feel like if I work on my addiction, then everything else can kind of follow. And obviously, things will still be hard, but I think if I can get through my own thing, then, I can provide better for her too.
Yeah. So have you been to rehab before?
I have had some run-ins with the law, and sometimes, I don't know, there have been times where they want me to try things. I have tried to stop using before, but I have not been successful.
Okay. So how far back was the most recent time that you tried?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay. So do you want to talk a little bit more about the run-ins with the law? Was that all substance related, or? Okay, it was. And then they mandated you.
Like DUIs.
Okay. Okay, so has that affected your relationship with your daughter? Is there threat to?
I mean, just instability. I mean, if I'm not there, then I don't know.
So, in the past, when you've been at other have you been at residential rehab programs, or is it all outpatient?
All outpatient.
Okay, great. I was wondering if you were away from your daughter, but that's good. Okay, that is so great. I have a few more questions for you just for the initial intake. Just a little bit more of information about you. So you've mentioned that you have used substances in the past, and you also said that at age 10 you started drinking. So do you still drink, or have you shifted mainly just to substances?
I still drink.
Okay. And what substance do you primarily use?
Heroin.
Heroin. Okay. So how many years have you been using heroin?
13. I started using when I was 15. I drank and did some other things before that, but heroin when I was 15.
Okay. So growing up, what was your home like? What were your parents like, your relationship with them?
My parents, they never did drugs, but they were very free with alcohol, and we always had alcohol in our house. So, I mean, that's why I started drinking so early, was because it was so, can't think of the word, but available to me. And they didn't really provide a stable home for me either. I don't know, just wasn't always the happiest of places, and they were often upset and angry at me for little things that I did, and didn't always treat me the best either.
So were they aware of your drinking at age 10, or as you were still in the home?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So the instability in Lily's life, to go back to that, her father, do you have any relationship with him now, or is he
not her father?
No. Okay. Do you know anything about him or no?
I mean, I knew him when we dated, but he has left us.
Okay.
So.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health disorders, or Have you not been diagnosed?
I haven't been diagnosed with
Okay.
anything, no.
Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else? So right now you are using heroin and drinking currently. Okay. And have you ever had any needle use in the past?
In the past, yes. I haven't recently because I knew I wanted to come here, so
Okay.
I've been trying to stop, but
That's
I
great.
have in the past.
That's great. Well, that shows a true strength about you, that you've tried to stop and that you care about your relationship with your daughter and her having a good upbringing. So I think that's great that it really shows that you are really motivated about stopping. That's huge, and that really makes the world of a difference to have that motivation. So I think that your time here will be great. I just want to let you know that we are going to have 3 more sessions after this, where we'll work with some of those concerns that you've talked about and some of the goals that you've said. You mentioned that Lily's father is out of the picture. So do you want to talk a little bit about your relationship with other men? Are they pretty much in and out? And
I haven't had a stable relationship since, I have never had a stable relationship.
okay.
I was going to say since Lily's father, but he left us and that wasn't that long either. The
Okay.
longest, but.
So are you with anyone currently?
Yes.
Oh, you are? Okay. What does that relationship look like?
He's not probably a good influence on me and the life that I want. So I don't know what that's gonna look like. I don't know.
So how is he not a good influence? Is he?
He uses his phone.
Okay. Yeah. So do you want to have you thought about like keeping him in your life as you're trying to change, or have you not really?
I don't know. Yes, it's crossed my mind, but that's a hard decision and a lot to think about right now.
For sure.
He does support me in my decision of wanting to get clean and to provide a better life, but I don't think he necessarily has as strong of feelings as I do. So I guess eventually, probably when I'm out of this, maybe I'll have other thoughts about him. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah. So he doesn't really have any motivation to want to change.
I don't think as much as I do. No.
Okay.
It's not his daughter.
Yeah.
Does
Does it seem to you that he wants to stay involved, even though y'all are going to be here? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's okay. So do you want to say a little bit about your past relationships? Maybe why they've ended, or was that mainly you ending them, or?
It's been both.
Yeah.
Sometimes boys do things that are stupid, and sometimes I do things that are stupid.
Yeah.
So, I haven't had a relationship longer than a year.
Okay. So you talked about that on impact on Lily's life, how that in and out definitely affects her.
It affects me, so I'm sure it's affecting her.
Yeah, for sure. And that she's had some anger because of that, yeah. So has she had any close relationships with any of the men, like positive relationships, or nothing long enough to?
There have been a couple that have been very sweet to her, but then they're gone, in a little bit, so I don't know if that's positive or negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone else in your life that is a positive role, like friends or family that are supportive to you, or that you can go to with it?
I do have a friend. I've been friends with her for a while, and she's really excited about me coming here.
Oh, great.
She does not have a history with addiction at all, but I don't know. She's excited that I'm wanting to stop finally.
Great. So has she supported you in the past? Okay, that's great. I think she'll be a great support as you move on to have her there. That's so dope. Yeah. So is she involved in Lily's life as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does she have children?
No.
Okay.
But
Well,
she often she does stay with her, so I guess she's a positive influence in Lily's life. But
yeah, that's important to have support system. So, currently, do you have any other people in your life that are supportive or?
I mean, my parents are really not in the picture anymore,
Okay.
so I don't have parents. I mean, my friend Crystal, I'm sure her family would support me, but I don't think they like that she's friends with me sometimes
Oh.
just because of, the life that I've had and the decisions that I've made. But maybe they'd be supportive of our relationship and of me
Yeah.
if I stopped using and if I, took steps to get a job and tried to provide more for myself and for my daughter.
Yeah.
But other than that, no.
Yeah, well, maybe they can be a resource too as you go on. You could try to amend that relationship maybe through Crystal, talking with her. Yeah, well, that could be good. So you mentioned not having a good relationship with your parents. So was it pretty much your whole childhood? It was pretty much conflict there, so you just cut it off.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Both. It was
Yeah.
mutual.
Yeah. So when would you say that was?
When I was about 20, I stopped talking to him.
Okay. Was there a significant incident or it's just like you decided to?
I mean, we fought our whole lives and
Yeah.
it just kind of ended. I don't know, like we had a bad fight and we haven't talked since.
Yeah. Are you interested in repairing that relationship or pretty much don't want to?
I mean, I guess I'd be willing. I don't know. That was 8 years ago, so I don't know like what stages they're in anymore. I mean, we did not have a healthy relationship. I don't think they were healthy for me. I wasn't healthy for them. And so I don't know like if they've grown or if they've changed. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe if through my growth I can do something about that. I don't know. That relationship is like foreign to me.
Yeah.
So
it might be too distant.
It is distant, but I mean, I guess I'd be willing to try.
Okay.
But,
yeah. Do you have any siblings or?
No.
Okay. So, as we have 3 more sessions after this. So in those sessions, we'll tell you more about specific services that we have and maybe work through some of these goals and concerns that you have. And before the next session next week, I would like for you to just think about maybe repairing that relationship. Just see if that's something. Just maybe explore like what that might look like and if you would even want to think about that. And also just think about if you have any other outside support that could be a benefit or how you can take advantage of those relationships that you mentioned. So it's been a great pleasure to get to know you, and I look forward to meet with you in the future and meeting your daughter too.